Hello. So this week in gaming news that everybody expected to happen, Midnight Society, otherwise known as 12am, or the studio behind the game Deadrop, or most commonly known as the studio founded by none other than Dr. Disrespect, announced that they are shutting down. They're closing their doors after 3 years with a team of 55 developers, or over 55 developers, contributing to the new IP Deadrop. They are now actively seeking other game studios that will hire them, and give opportunities to the talented members of the team. Everybody should have expected this. If you didn't see this coming, you need to get your eyes tested. Get yourselves over to Specsavers, because this was the clearest thing since daylight. Like, this is just clear as day. The founder of the studio was kicked out. Rightfully so. I'm not defending Doc here, not at all. Of course, I've made videos about Doc's controversy and actions in the past. As somebody who used to watch him and be a fan, still can't condone what he did. However, as a game studio, it was an absolutely terrible business decision to part ways with the guy that was your entire marketing strategy. The only reason 99% of people followed that game is because Doc's name was plastered all over it, and he would stream it, and he would tell his audience that it was going to be the next best thing since Call of Duty because he worked on 3 COD games. And they were all rallying behind him, not necessarily the game. So when he parted ways, his audience followed him and not the game. His audience didn't really care about the game anymore. In fact, a lot of his audience outright said that they would try and just boycott the game, essentially, and not play it. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, it lost fans, it lost supporters, it lost marketing reach, and it lost a lot of money. I believe the game had venture capital support. And obviously those venture capitalists would have been involved because they saw that Doc brought in a lot of eyeballs, which meant a potential for a lot of transactions and therefore a lot of money. But if those people start dropping out because their marketing man is gone, then the investors must think, well, this is going to flop. Time to pull out our money. And I'm willing to bet that Doc was a heavy investor in it as well. Probably, every single dollar that he was making through live stream donations was going towards the development fund for Deadrop. And now that he's not there, this was bound to happen someday or another. The updates this team were putting out were very minuscule. The game looked the same every time they showed it off. I mean, it literally looked like GoldenEye with ray tracing for months. Like, this game did not look like anyone was working on things such as models, animations, effects. Half the levels were just block-out levels still with zero textures, just concrete walls everywhere. Half of the weapons didn't have animations. Yeah, and this is 3 years in. I mean, this is what you get when, your one of the lead devs, the lead marketing guys, gets pushed away. And also what you get when you hire guys like Quindle Hoyo, who butchered the Halo franchise. Like, he's one of the lead guys on this. That's another topic. But half the guys working on this, although talented, were from other series that flopped or other series that they pushed in the wrong direction. A couple of ex-COD and DICE guys in there as well. And yeah, this... I think this has been clear for at least like 6 months now that this just wasn't going to happen. And another topic here is the rumor is that the game had a dev budget of between 10 to 15 million dollars for a new studio of only 55 devs. That is a lot of money to use. I mean, granted, the video game that me and my small team of 10 made might not be, I mean, to be fair, actually, I might say it might not be as good, but it's definitely better than the current state of Deadrop. We made our game on a very small budget of around $5,000 in a dream. And although it's not the best game in the world, it functions. It's got a couple bugs, but it functions. It's got a good amount of content, 15 maps, 15 modes, dedicated servers, online multiplayer, PvE and PvP content, vehicles, aircraft, 11 weapons. the list goes on. And we did that with zero experience. And I just don't understand where $11 million went. How? If any of those venture capitalists are listening, invest in my game. Give us 10% of that money and we'll deliver something better. And let's remember that the reason the studio is closing down is because they don't have any money. Like, it's not because, it's not directly because they parted ways with Doc. It's because they've spent all the investment they had. Like, and can't raise any more because Doc isn't involved anymore, therefore no one's interested. It's like, how? How did you spend that much money? How did you spend 10, 12, 14, whatever, $million? How? Most of the game looked like it was still pre-alpha stuff. I'm pretty sure the builds might have even said pre-alpha, like they might be like 0.03 versions and stuff. Like, I just don't get it. Half the floors and walls had the Unreal Engine checkered floor texture on them, and just random cube blocky buildings. Like, I just don't understand where it all went. And then finally, this game was obviously connected to blockchain elements. It had NFTs. You could buy these little avatars, I guess, and your in-game character could match. You might have been able to buy some NFTs that were weapon skins and things that would directly be added to your inventory in the game. And then even beta access was paid. I paid $20 just to play the dev builds of the game, to check out what it was like. It was a one-time payment. You get access to like every dev build. No way in hell would I get involved with the NFT side of things. That'd be stupid. But paying to play like really early games is something that I've done before. I've subscribed to Patreons and things where you can play early dev builds, give feedback, etc. Just be more involved in the process. So I was fine with that. But like they had tens of thousands of people that bought into that. Like, from the people who bought the NFTs and the access to the game, they probably made a couple million alone from that too. Where did all that money go? These people who bought the NFTs and things are asking for refunds and things too, but the studio doesn't have any money. They spent it all on something. The whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. And again, this is once again another project which was being tied to the blockchain, tied to NFTs and crypto, that hasn't come to fruition and is ultimately dead, and tens of thousands of people at least have lost money as a result. So you have to ask the question, like, was this partially somewhat the intention from the beginning? Is this a rug pull? Is this, are those lead devs walking away with hundreds of thousands in their back pockets and saying, well, there we go, and that nice 3 years of development, we walk away with 500k each or something, nice paycheck for the past couple of years. I don't know. A studio losing all its investment money doesn't necessarily mean that everybody walks away bankrupt. So yeah, you gotta ask that question. And plus, did Doc have some kind of like buyout clause? He owned 1% of the business. I'm guessing if he was no longer affiliated, maybe they had to buy him out, and that's also partially where some of the money went. That would be quite logical. So maybe, maybe that's the route they went down. That is the explanation that I can understand the most. Is like, hey, if Doc put like between 1 and 3 million of his own money in, and then when he parted ways, they had to buy him out for the same amount or something. The studio's like, crap, we got to spend like 30% of our remaining budget on buying Doc out. This impacts things. I think there was a round of layoffs as well around that time. So it could be that. It could be that. But I don't think that information will ever, I don't think it'll ever be revealed if that was the reason. At least not anytime soon. So yeah, that's it. This is news that is kind of old now. I mean, it's been around for like 3 days. A couple of days late to this, but I figured I'd make a video about it because I don't have anything else to make a video about right now, and this is a topic that I've spoken about, 2 or 3 times in the channel already, regarding Doc and the game. So yeah, alright. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you ever played it. I put a couple of hours into the game, and yeah, like I said, nothing impressive. So yeah, alright, see you.